ready. Kurve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Oh, what did I just do? Hope that's fine. Maybe for later. Okay, you guys can. Someone can scroll here. Madhav, maybe you can share the screen and scroll. Oh, very good. So I need him off the harmonium. He's a man.
We're going to take the harmonium away from you after this.
All together? Who needs to be off the harmonium, please?
Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militangena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtang Stabhitangena Bhutale Swayang Rupa Kadamayang Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagadatam Sahagana Gunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Savadhutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Nisha Kanditangscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namostute Bhakta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
So, first of all, I want to offer my obeisances to the gurus in my life, both Diksha and Shiksha. Without their blessings and mercy, I would have nothing at all to offer. And it's only as a reflection of what I've been given from them. Do I have anything to offer at all? I need that actually.
Yeah, I'm going to give you that.
Okay. So my obeisances unto them. I also want to offer my obeisances unto the entire Gaudiya Guru Varga, or the Parampara, from which all of my gurus also receive mercy. And they were able to impart that, and it's actually directly connected and coming from the Lord Himself. We'll actually talk a lot about that today, because that's a very important aspect of how we're getting knowledge. This isn't just a random configuration of knowledge, some one man's philosophy. And if you know that, it's helpful to know that, I'm actually receiving something quite divine, quite wonderful. So, yes, and then lastly, I want to offer my obeisances unto all of the Vaishnavas, past, present, and future, including you, especially here in the present. So, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So, very good. So, we're going to go into Bhagavad Gita 16:24. And it's like the last verse of the 16th chapter. And maybe we can get a little context of why Krishna chants this verse. Maybe the last one or... So Krishna says, the man who has escaped these three gates... Well, let's Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. That's very kind. I'm not deserving, but I wear it out of respect. So, also take this back. All right. He says there are 3 gates leading to this hell, and this is all for this chapter is called the demoniac way of life, or I think it's just the demoniac nature. So there are 3 things that will bring you down to hellish or demoniac life, and that's lust, excessive desire, and trying to fulfill your desires in this world, especially what is known as the sex desire, anger, and inevitably things are going to get in your way of getting your lusts, and the reason we get angry is simply because our lusts are being checked. That's why everyone we have a hello, what is your name? Harish, welcome.
Thank you.
Cool. Are you 2 together? Okay, very good. I always get scared to ask that question because sometimes they're like, no, that's my sister. That's what you know. So I'm very happy to meet you, Harish. And Tejashri, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So welcome. I'm Ramdas. And so lust and anger, and then ultimately greed to keep fulfilling one's lusts. So these actually lead us to hell. And if anyone understands hell is, it is a place. There are hells. There's hellish places. But also hell is a state of consciousness where you're always dissatisfied and always suffering, actually. And why? What causes us suffering? Lust, anger, and greed. This is especially lust. Lust is the root cause of all of our suffering. So when we try to pursue all our desires in this material world, we will get checked, and we're going to be angry and suffering. And our greed to just continue doing this is the illusion that's just going to perpetually keep us in this cycle. So, what do we do? So Krishna says, the man who has escaped these 3 gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization, and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. So, what do we have to do? Maybe I'll highlight it for you.
Can you zoom out slightly?
Oh,
Is that possible?
yes.
That's perfect.
So what do we have to do? I'm highlighting it. It's just you have to read it.
To perform acts that are conducive to self-realization.
Yes, acts conducive to self-realization. That's what. So how do we do that? How do we do this? And you'll gradually attain the supreme destination. So instead of being in hell, which actually, believe it or not, we don't have to die and wait to go to some fiery brimstone place to be in hell. If you're suffering in this life, welcome to hell. You're already, you're in hell already, actually. But we can get out of hell in this very life, actually. But we have to make some adjustments. And actually, the reason we're in hell is because we're in illusion of actually who we really are and what's really important. And if we knew that, actually, everything is perfect as it is. But we're not like that. We're in illusion. So, it says, but he who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. Okay, so then there's scriptural injunctions, how to live. Here, this is where it says what to do. But instead of doing that, you take what's called like a swatantra bhav, or an independent bhav, and I was like, I'm going to do what I want. Like that, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. The satanic credo, does anyone know what it is?
Do what thou wilt.
Yeah, do what thou wilt. The Christian credo is thy will be done. Whatever God's will is, will be done. And the satanic credo is do what thou wilt. So this is actually, obviously Satanism is, they probably don't even believe in a hell, or maybe they do believe in a hell and they want to embrace hell, which, Satan's the Lord of hell in that theology. So they do whatever they want. They act according to their whims. And they'll attain neither perfection nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. This is according to Krishna. Now you also have to understand why Krishna's opinion is important. We'll get into that. And then we're going to come to our verse today now. So just to sum it up, there are gates to hell: lust, greed, and anger, One who escapes these gates of hell and acts according to self-realization can gradually approach the supreme destination. And one who does not do so, they will, and acts according to their own whims, whatever they desire, they'll attain neither perfection, happiness, or the supreme destination. Does that sound like a good situation? No. Everyone should be saying, no, I don't want that. Yes. So, you want perfection, you want happiness, and you want the supreme destination. So this is how we do it. So this is the final verse of this chapter. Repeat after me. Tasmat shastram pramanam te kaya kaya vyavastito gyatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartumi harhasi. Okay, anyone else want to try it? Tasmat shastram pramanam te kaya kaya vyavastito gyatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartumi harhasi. So, tasmat, therefore, shastram, scriptures, pramanam, evidence, te, your, karya, duty, akarya, forbidden activities, vyavastito, indetermining, gyatva, knowing, shastra, of scripture, vidhana, regulations, uktam, as declared, karma, work, kartum, to do, iha, or iharhasi, you should do it. Okay. So the translation is, one should understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. So this is a pretty short chapter. So Prabhupada will give some really nice things here. So, as stated in the 15th chapter, all the rules and regulations of the Vedas are meant for knowing Krishna. If one understands Krishna from the Bhagavad Gita and becomes situated in Krishna consciousness, engaging himself in devotional service, he has reached the highest perfection of knowledge offered by the Vedic literature. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this process very easy. He asked people simply to chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and to engage in the devotional service of the Lord, and eat remnants of the foodstuffs offered to the deity. One who is directly engaged in all these devotional activities is to be understood as having studied all Vedic literature. He has come to the conclusion perfectly. Of course, for the ordinary persons who are not in Krishna consciousness, or who are not engaged in devotional service, what is to be done and what is not to be done must be decided by the injunctions of the Vedas. One should act accordingly without argument. That is called following the principles of Shastra, or scripture. Shastra is without the four principal defects that are visible in the conditioned soul: imperfect senses, the propensity for cheating, certainty of committing mistakes, and certainty of being illusioned. So this is actually all very important, because these things are why we are in ignorance. So the first one is the certainty of committing mistakes. This is called Brahm. And that has to do with you actually not understanding who you are and what reality is. So you have, you could say it's like a mislocated hypostasis, a mislocated understanding of who you are and what you're associating with is. So this is the first thing that happens due to our not being in knowledge, not being enlightened, not being touched by the mercy of enlightenment. We mistake reality. And then what happens next is then we become illusioned. And so we are in the state of what's called pramada. In pramada, we are always distracted by what's illusioning us. Instead of focusing on self-realization, trying to understand who you really are, what is really reality, you focus on maybe a girlfriend, or maybe a career, or maybe a child, or maybe this, that, and the other, and you put all of these things as importance, but actually it's not important, and it has nothing to do with who you really are and what's really important. Not to say that, okay, well, the guy at the temple told me that my girlfriend is nonsense, and my child is nonsense, and my job is nonsense, so I'm quitting all these things. No, you don't do that. What you do is you use all of these things, and you work together towards in self-realization together. So if you have a girlfriend or a wife or all these things, you work with your wife in spiritual realization, Krishna consciousness. If you have a child, you raise your child in Krishna consciousness. If you have a job, you use the fruits of your work to support your life for Krishna consciousness, or even support causes for Krishna consciousness, and like this. So everything is there. And so that illusion, though, but if you get distracted and you don't remember what to do, and so instead you work so hard on your job, or your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, or your child, or your this, that, and the other thing, you'll get lost in many, many actions in this world, and then what will happen is you will be in the propensity of cheating, vipralipsa. So then now you make, because you have some bias due to your illusions, where you think, no, this is the most important thing. And it doesn't matter what Scripture says, it doesn't matter what Bhagavad Gita says, it doesn't matter what any spiritual saintly people are saying. I know it's really important, and you concoct all kinds of reasons in your mind why this is the most important thing. So this is called vipralipsa, or the cheating propensity. Or you could say this is like a confirmation bias, where you have some bias towards why you're focusing on temporary things of this world is the most important thing to do. And then what will happen then is you will rely on your imperfect senses of understanding all of these temporary things of this world, and then you'll be cheated every step of the way because the senses are imperfect. They can't actually diagnose everything properly because they're not meant to do that. And what will end up happening is you will ultimately act according to your whims, and you'll attain neither perfection, happiness, or the supreme destination. And what you'll get instead is suffering. And that's what's already happening in this world. It's everybody. Everybody is suffering for this exact reason. And if you can understand, wait, the first thing, I'm making a mistake. I don't actually understand reality. If you can just understand that one thing, then you can start on the proper path. And then you'll have guidance. And so we'll tell you how to get that guidance today. So, these four principal defects in conditional life disqualify one from putting forth rules and regulations. So you don't, if you're under this jurisdiction, you don't really care for rules and regulations because you're already an illusion, and you're already convinced that, that's just some words on a paper. That's, not important. And so then you will reap the benefits of life. So therefore the rules and regulations are described in the Shastra being above these defects and are accepted without alteration by all great saints, acharyas, and great souls. In India there are many parties of spiritual understanding, generally classified as two, the impersonalist and the personalist. Both of them, however, lead their lives according to the principles of the Vedas. So whether you're an impersonalist, you're just trying to merge with the total energy, the totality energy, or you're a personalist and you're understanding there's a divine consciousness, a personality that's governing existence, and that you would like to discover your relationship. No matter what, you would follow the Vedic rules and regulations. So, both of them, however, lead their lives according to the principles of the Vedas. Without following the principles of the scriptures, one cannot elevate himself to the perfectional stage. One who actually, therefore, understands the purport of the Shastras is considered fortunate. And we're going to get to a very important part of this. In human society, aversion to the principles of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of all fall downs. That is the greatest offense of human life. Therefore, Maya, the material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always giving us trouble in the shape of the threefold miseries. What are the threefold miseries, Madhav?
Adhyatmic, adidhymic, and adibhautic.
Yes, and now what is adhyatmic?
This misery is caused by your own body and mind.
Yes.
And then adidhymic is those caused by the demigods or natural disasters. And
Yes.
adibhautic is those caused by other living entities like
Very good.
bugs, mosquitoes, anything.
Yes. People, thank you. That's very nice. So, yes. So these are the threefold miseries of life. Your own body and mind. Most people, has anyone here ever gotten depressed before? Yes. What type of misery is this? Adhyatmic. Okay. Has anyone ever got cut off in traffic? Yes. What type of misery is this? Adibhotic, yes. And has anyone ever got caught out in a climactic inconvenience, like a snowstorm or a heat wave or something like that? What type of misery is this? Yes. Oh, yes, sir. That one might be adibhotic. But still, or, something like that. Yes, that's adidaivic, the supernatural forces. Like a volcano erupts in your town and kills everybody or something. So this is adibhotic miseries. So, therefore, Maya, the material energy of the Supreme Personality of God, is always giving us trouble in the shape of the threefold miseries. This material energy is constituted of the three modes of material nature. So one has to raise himself at least to the mode of goodness before the path to understanding the Supreme Lord can be opened. Very important that we try to cultivate. This is why Krishna, he spends from the 14th chapter to the 18th chapter all about how to cultivate a sattvic lifestyle. And actually all of the scriptures, they teach you how to cultivate a sattvic lifestyle. Why? Because at the sattvic platform, then the understanding the Supreme Lord can be open. But if we're still heavily in the modes of ignorance and passion, then there's no chance of opening that doorway. So without raising oneself to the standard of the mode of goodness, one remains in ignorance and passion, which are the cause of demoniac life. So if you have an aversion to trying to follow the scriptures and you want to do whatever you want in this world, it's not saying everyone's got horns and teeth and things like that, like you're a demon like that, but this is technically what asuric life is, demoniac life. The first 9 times I read Bhagavad Gita, I got very disturbed every time I got to this chapter because I realized, I'm like demoniac. I had the realization, I'm demoniac. So if you have that realization, it might be healthy. But actually, it wasn't until I read Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita was I actually able to make advancement. Because at first I was just reading Bhagavad Gita on my own, some small translation. But when I read Prabhupada's Gita, something wonderful happened. I actually had some guidance and practical instruction on how to move forward. And this is going to be the very important thing that he's going to mention here. Those in the modes of passion and ignorance deride the scriptures, deride the holy man, and deride means to criticize or neglect, and deride the proper understanding of the spiritual master, and they do not care for the regulations of the scriptures. In spite of hearing the glories of devotional service, they are not attracted. Thus they manufacture their own way of elevation. These are some of the defects of human society, which leads to the demoniac status of life. If, however, one is able to be guided by a proper and bona fide spiritual master, who can lead one to the path of elevation to the higher stage, then one's life becomes successful. So, Prabhupada is ending with this because this is actually how you follow the Shastras. So, for instance, one of the very popular Shastras is of the many Upanishads. One of the verses in the Upanishads, let's see if I remember it. It goes, Yasya Deve Parabhaktir Yatha Deve Tatha Guru Tasyate Kathita Hyarthaha Prakashante Mahatmanaha. So what that means is one whom has bhakti or devotion unto the Supreme Lord Deve, Yasya Deve Para Bhaktir, one who has the supreme devotion. Sohan, Hare Krishna, I'm missing you. So I'm happy you're back. One who has devotion unto the Supreme Lord. Tatha, similarly, Deve, and similarly, what he has to the Supreme Lord, Tatha Guru, unto his Guru, he has the same thing, that same devotion. Tasyaite, thus doing, kathita, as described, hyarthaha, all of the meanings, certainly all of the meanings Prakashante, meanings of the scriptures, Prakashante Mahatmanaha, they'll be revealed unto such a great soul. So if you don't take a guru to reveal to you the Vedic scriptures, and you just try to read them all on your own, like I did in the first 9 times, you will find yourself always evaluating your life if you're sincere and honest, and you're saying, I'm actually demoniac. Because this whole chapter, before it gets to this point, Krishna describes what the demoniac person looks like and what they do. And so when he describes that, when you, especially if you are new to all this, especially if you're new, you'll find, yes, I am demoniac. Because I don't care at all for what the scriptures say. I don't care at all for what following any injunctions of God. I just want to do what I want to do. I was always taught that way. And that's what we're taught. We're in a demoniac society, especially in America. America is like the demoniac capital of the world. So, and where it's just like, yeah, we're independent. Being independent is actually demoniac. But we have Independence Day, like Demoniac Day. Like we celebrate our demoniac nature, actually. But this is not what the Vedas prescribe at all, actually. The Vedas prescribe that we should be submissive to God, and we should be submissive to God's representatives in the form of saints, sages, and guru. And if we're submissive to them, then we can reach perfection in life. And the Lord will certainly bless one who does that. But it takes a completely different paradigm shift. Because instead of trying to take what we want from this world, which is independent, we should then submissively serve the chain of mercy coming from God to Guru, to through the Shastras to us. And if we do like that, then we'll reach perfection, actually. I've seen in my life already. I've tried for a long time to take by force everything that I wanted in this world. And I just keep failing over and over again. And getting checked by some wall or some wall of miseries blocking me from what I want. But when I just give it up and have some realization that that's not good, that's not a good idea. Oh, Danya and Nadia, Hare Krishna. When I give that up, I've seen, ever since I more sincerely practiced bhakti and we opened the center and we sincerely tried to serve in some capacity, all those things I wanted before, they actually just all started manifesting. And I was saying, oh wow, I didn't even expect that. But as soon as I got some of my own ideas again and tried to act independently, and then all kinds of calamities have come in my life again. But then I say, okay, wait a second, I'm getting off track again. Let me go back to just doing what I'm supposed to under the guidance of Guru, Vaishnavas, and the Shastras, and then everything good comes again. So that's how the world works, actually. But we don't. If we're in the modes of passion and ignorance, if we're making a mistake with who we are and what reality is and how reality works, we won't see that clearly, and we'll just act independently in this world, and we'll want to do whatever we want to do, instead of wanting to do what the saints, the sages, and the scriptures say, and which are ultimately only reflecting what God wants. So we should know this. So I'm going to share with you all, maybe I'll pull it up. Madhav, while I chant this, just pull up the Das Mula title. So I'll chant something. So most recently, what happens in this world is that when the scriptures and the saints and the sages aren't fully able to help us, at some point it happens. At some point, the world needs more help than the current saints, sages, and scriptures of the world have to offer. And when that happens, an avatar of the Lord comes. The Lord himself never leaves anybody hanging. If he doesn't have his representative through the saints, sages, and scriptures helping people in the world, he himself will come. And he says that in Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutana madharmyasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. So very good. You guys actually helped me finish the verse. So I appreciate that. So he himself will come. So the most recent incarnation of the Lord, we just celebrated. He's here. He's with us here. But we just recently celebrated Gaura Purnima. You guys, right? Everyone here came and celebrated Gaura Purnima? Let's say yes, yes. So if you didn't, next year definitely do. It's a very good idea. So most recent incarnation of the Lord came 500 and maybe 40 something years ago, in I think 1486. Yes. So I think who said 1846 when we were in yeah. So in 1486 the Lord came, and he performed all kinds of miracles and pastimes and wonderful things. If you want to learn more about them, you should come Friday night. Danya leads a nice class going through the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had 10 root teachings. And if we understand these 10 root teachings, we will understand Krishna perfectly, the Vedas perfectly, and what we're to do in this world. So these are the 10 root teachings all in one verse. So if you can learn this, it'll be very nice. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on a little trip with my wife for about 6 weeks or something like that, 5 or 6 weeks. Maybe less, maybe more, we'll see. But before I go, I want to finish this with you guys so that whoever's here can really benefit from these 10 root teachings. And we will give evidence from the Bhagavad Gita of how, okay, this isn't just something made up by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who compiled this verse, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But this is also, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually teach. Well, before I do that, I want to share a Bhagavatam verse with you guys. So let me see. I sent it 11:532. Let's go here. 11.
You can search there.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So Srimad Bhagavatam 11:532. Let's see if that works.
No, search right there. That bar, go up, search there. Just 11.5.32. Now click the red. Yep.
Oh, good. All right. So this is a very nice verse from the Bhagavatam. And this is actually predicting the Lord coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So why don't we chant it? Krishna Varnang Tvisha Krishna Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayer Yajantihi Sumedasaha. Okay. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform. This is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is told by one of the 9 Yogendras. They were one of the exalted sons of Rishabhadev, who is an incarnation of the Lord, who's mentioned in the 5th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. But later, the great King Nemi, he got the association of these exalted personalities, and he was asking them many questions on how, what to do, practical instructions in this world. And one of the subject matters got to be in the certain ages, how does the Lord come and what does he do in those times? So this is very relevant for us because we are in this age of Kali now, and this will tell us what the intelligent persons will do in this age. So in the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead. This is Sankirtan, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. So we'll know what the Lord will come and constantly sing the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, because before Krishna was blackish. If you don't know, Krishna had like a blackish bluish skin. But although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. And we see this, and maybe I'll do one more verse because it describes, is there a next button here?
All the way down.
Yeah. Yes, good. Oh, it might be the verse before that. So we actually see in the Bhagavatam, it's actually predicted of Lord Chaitanya's coming. and then he actually fulfilled it perfectly. O king, in this way, no. Anyway, I'm not going to find it right now. But we're going to go back. Madhav, which one was it?
Third one, I think. Or fourth, sorry.
It might be the first one all the way down to the right.
Yes, very good. Okay, so this is going to talk about the 10 main teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fulfilled multiple prophecies, many prophecies from the Bhagavatam. And he was absolutely amazing. If you study his life, if you come on Fridays and you come to Danya's presentation of Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can learn about many of his wonderful pastimes. But these are some of the 10 root truths that he teaches. And he teaches us how to be a devotee of Krishna. He is Krishna, but he comes in the form of a devotee to teach us how to worship Krishna. Because he knows that we're not that smart, actually. We're not that intelligent. We have the tendency towards demoniac life. We want to do whatever we want to do. So he's like, no. Okay, listen, I will come and I'll show you exactly what to do. Just follow me. Actually, there's a nice verse. I was just telling you how to follow scriptures, teaching you, how Krishna wants us to follow the scriptures. But there's a verse that one of the advanced teachings of Raghunath Das Goswami is the Manashiksha. And he says, Nadarmang nadarmang shruti gana niruktam kila kuru. He actually says, don't worry about following the scriptures or not following the scriptures. This mentioned in the Vedas, which seems contradictory. But then he says, Vrajay Radha Krishna Prachara Paricharya Miha Tanu. He's saying, just worry about worshipping Radha and Krishna. If you want abundant service to Radha and Krishna, you should perform that instead. And then he says, Shachi Sunum, the son of Sachi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shachi Sunum Nandishwarapati Sutadve. He is the son of Nandishwara. He's the Nandishwarapati, the Lord of Nandagram, which is Krishna. He's talking about Krishna. He is Krishna himself. Guru Varam, and he's actually the Shiksha Guru of all of us. He's teaching us what to do, exactly what to do. So if you want to know how to be a devotee, you just study the life of Krishna in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He'll tell you exactly how to be a devotee. He'll show you by practical example how to be a devotee here in Kali Yuga. It's not so, he makes it so easy for you. If you try to become a scholar and study all the Vedas, it's very difficult. But you just study the life of Lord Chaitanya, it's so easy actually. But he's saying Guru Varam Mukunda Preshtatve Smarapadamajashram Nanu Manaha. But we should also understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come to us in the form of Guru, the excellent Guru, who is dear to Krishna. And so we should always remember him rather than focusing on trying to do all these rituals in the scriptures or doing the things forbidden in the scriptures. We should not worry about that. We should worry about Guru, who is teaching us exactly how to follow the Lord, in the example of Lord Chaitanya and in the example of Krishna. So, and ultimately, what's the goal? That we're actually serving the Lord. So anyway, how to do that, that's kind of a high teaching. I'm going to go back now. We're going to go to the roots here. So just basic things here. First of all, we'll chant the verse. It goes, Amnaya praha tatvang haring iha padamang sarva shaktim rasagtim tad binangshascha jivan prakriti kavalitang tad vimuktangshcha bhavad Veda Veda Prakasham Sakalam Api Hare Sadhanang Shura Bhakti Sadhyang Tad Pritim Evet Yupadashati Janan Kora Chandro Swayam Saha. So this is a little different one than I know. So it's the same thing, I'm sure. So the one that I have been taught is Gaurachandra Swayam Saha. So Lord Chaitanya, he is that golden moon, Gaurachandra. He is personally teaching Upadeshati Janan, these instructions to the people. And so what are those instructions to the people he's teaching? The first one had to do with what we learned in Bhagavad Gita today. Amnaya praha. This is going to be our evidence. How do we know what to do? Amnaya is the Vedas. Praha are explaining. So first, everything's coming from the Vedas. Everything's coming from the Vedas. So what are the Vedas, actually? What is the origin of the Vedas? Does anyone know? What are the modern scientists saying? What's the origin of the Vedas?
Scientists say.
Yeah, what are they saying?
I didn't know they were speaking about the Vedas.
And there's some anthropologists they study, What are they saying? What's the origin of the Vedas?
A loud noise.
Yes. Well, they think a Big Bang is the origin of everything. But what's the origin of the Big Bang? So that's the whole thing. But they cannot trace it, actually. It's like a trick question. They cannot actually. The Vedas are not traceable by our modern understanding. They're extremely ancient, and actually the Vedas themselves will tell you they're eternal. They're eternal and they're divine revelations from God. And actually they were given to the first created being at the beginning of creation, and that created being created the whole universe through the knowledge given of the Vedas. So actually this is how the Vedas is imparted. It comes through the one with the knowledge. So in the case of the beginning of this universe, it came from the Lord himself, personally, to Brahma. And then Brahma taught it to his sons, Narad and so many others. And then it slowly disseminated throughout here, and then it became presented to us. And then it eventually was split in 4. And then now, even there's many supplements to the Vedas, like the Puranas and things, to make it even easier for us. And stories like Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, that make it even easier for us to apply these Vedas. But how are the Vedas understood? We should understand it's Guru Parampara Prapt Dwar Veda Vakya. Meaning, only by the lineage of gurus, only in Guru Parampara Prapt can you obtain Dwar, entrance into Veda Vakya, into the knowledge of the Vedas. That's the only way you can actually attain. That's why at the end of that verse, Prabhupada, he explained, but one only who surrenders unto a spiritual master, they will be the one who will benefit. So you have to find a spiritual master who understands the Vedas, and you learn the Vedas from him. And if you don't do it that way, then you're trying to do it yourself, and it's because we have these 4 tendencies of making a mistake of who we are and what's important, and we're in illusion and cheating propensity and imperfect senses, we will not be able to understand the Vedas. So the Vedas are understood in Guru Parampara. So what do we have to prioritize doing? At the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, he instructed to Arjuna the whole Bhagavad Gita. And he gave everything to him. And then at the end, he said, Kachid etach trutang partha, tvayai kagrena chetasa, kachid agyana sammoha, pranashtas te dhananjaya. So what did he say? Have you heard this? Have you heard this whole Bhagavad Gita I just spoke? With one pointed attention part? Right, Parth? Have you heard this with one pointed attention? Has your ignorance and illusion been dispelled? He's asking him. Why is he asking him this important question? Because this is how you can understand anything. You have to hear it. Have you heard this? He said, have you studied the Vedas? Did you go take them time? No. Have you heard this? Krishna's the personality with knowledge, and he's imparting the knowledge. And if you've heard from the one who has the knowledge, then you can receive the knowledge. But if you yourself try to do what's called a rohapantha, or self-elevate, you can only get so far. You can get somewhere, but you can only get so far. You actually have to hear from a master. That's how Amnaya comes to you. That's how the Vedas really can be given to you. You have to hear. So here at Mantra Central, we have something to share. None of us here are masters. But we have something to share that we've heard from masters. And this whole place would be useless if we didn't hear anything from masters. But because we've heard something from masters, we have something to share. And we can impart that to you. But it would behoove you, it would be in your best interest to also connect with a spiritual master, so that you can understand this first teaching of Amnaya Praha. How to actually, excuse me, how to actually connect with the Vedas. Because the Vedas are going to tell you so many things. The rest of this verse is going to tell you all about the Vedas. But unless you hear them in the proper channel, it will not come to you. It will be blocked by your own illusion. And it's only by one. So I'll give you some evidence from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita in 4:34, he says, Tad vidi pranipatena padi prashnena sevaya. Mada, finish it. Now explain to us what it means.
Now we should just try to learn the truth by approaching a realized spiritual master. And if we go before him humbly and we ask him relevant questions and we perform service unto him, then because he's a Tattva-darshina, or a seer of the truth, he's seen the absolute truth by hearing it from his guru, then he'll actually be pleased upon our service and he'll actually impart the truth unto us.
Yes, yes. So that understanding, of higher transcendental knowledge can be achieved through humbly approaching a spiritual master, then asking him relevant questions, pariprashnena, and then sevaya, then rendering him service. And by doing that, he'll be very pleased with you. Upadekshanti te jnanam. He'll reveal to you that knowledge. And why? Jnaninas tattva darshana. He's the owner of that knowledge, because he sees the truth. He's been imparted the truth by his spiritual master. So this is how you get knowledge as well. Only way. What's that?
I mentioned he's not subject to the 4 defects as well.
Yes, because of the mercy received upon him, because the Vedas, which are pure and beyond the 4 defects, if you remember, Prabhupada was saying that the scriptures are beyond the 4 defects. Because he's realized this, he is no longer beyond the 4 defects.
Subject to.
Yeah, and he's not subject to them. But if we, unfortunately, don't do that, all of our trying to understand the Vedas will be subject to the 4 defects, and we'll make mistakes, and we won't properly understand the Vedas. So you will have to find yourself in a pure lineage, a parampara, where guru to disciple in purity has come from the Lord himself, actually. And that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came to do. He reset the lineage. Just like Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he said, whenever religion declines, I again will come and restore the order of religion. So similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that 540 years ago, and our lineage is connected to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So anyone who's purely connected in this lineage is also connected to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and can properly give you Amnaya. But it's rare. It's rare and for someone to have completed that process. So these personalities are rare, but we know some personalities, and we'd be happy to introduce you to them. But please keep coming, and then that surely will happen. So okay, and now it's saying the Vedas are declaring, and now we understand how to get something through the Vedas. Also, there's a verse, Krishna, just to give a little more evidence, that Krishna has a liking for the Vedas. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, because he's God, he starts revealing to Arjuna all his Aishwarya, all of his opulent positions. So he says, of all the luminaries, I'm the sun. Of the stars, I'm the moon. And like this. So he starts saying all the greatest things, I am that. But then he says something interesting. He says, Pitaham asya jagata, mata data pitamaha, vedyam pavitram omkara, riksama yajar evacha. He says, I'm the father of this universe. I'm the mother. I'm the supporter, and I am the grandsire as well. I'm the grandfather. I am that which is to be known, which is what's going to be described here. I'm that which is to be known. I'm the most pure, and I am the Omkar. The Om is the original mantra. Interesting too, this is also how Vedas come, is through mantra. And this is what masters, they do. They teach one mantras. And what is mantra? Who knows, what does mantra mean?
One which delivers the mind.
Yes, that's exactly what it means. Manas means mind, and tra comes from the word trayate, to free or to liberate. And so it's by mantra, these are the tools given by the Vedas to free the mind. Free the mind from what? All of the four defects, all of the inauspicious thoughts. So anytime you were like saying, oh, I was thinking this, or I was thinking this, or I was thinking this, the Vedas are actually saying all of that thinking is inauspicious. It's not good. All this thinking that we are doing is just a chain of inauspicious thoughts that are going to lead you towards whimsical, mistaken reality and lead you towards the three gates to hell: lust, greed, and anger. But if you get out of your own thoughts and you instead chant mantras and remember mantras given by the Guru, the Vedic mantras, then you can be freed from all of these things. So this is very important. So he says, I'm the Omkar, I'm the original mantra. But then he says something else. Rik, Sama, Yajur, Evacha. I am the three Vedas as well, the Rik, the Sama, and the Yajur Vedas, which Krishna is putting them on a topmost platform. We should pay attention to the Vedas. So Krishna himself is saying how important they are. So this verse is saying, what are the Vedas saying? We said, Amnaya Praha. The Vedas state what? Tattvam Harim Iha Paramam. So Tattvam is the truth. What is the truth of Harim? The Supreme Lord is the truth. Iha, here in this world, Paramam. He's the topmost truth in this world. So okay, we're pursuing so many truths. How to manage our finances. How to have a satisfying relationship. How to, achieve whatever desires in this world, right? We have so many desires. But if someone told you that the topmost truth is the Supreme Lord, how many of us can say, yes, I'm pursuing the topmost truth? Actually, here, we should all say, yes, I'm trying. That's why I'm here. I'm trying this thing. But this is actually, this is the conclusion of the Vedas. This is what our gurus will give us. And there's a lot of evidence of this. I mean, Krishna, he says in Bhagavad Gita, Mata parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre mani ganaiva. He's saying there's no truth superior to me. Mata sarvam? No. I just chanted the verse, but now I'm forgetting it. But he's saying there's mata parataram nanyat. There's no other truth superior to me. There's nothing else superior to me. And then he says, Mai sarvamidam protam. And then from me, this entire universe is strung. Sutre mani ganaiva, like pearls on a thread. So everything is actually, because like we all see this necklace here, right? You see my necklace? No one ever says, well, that's a nice string on the necklace. Who has ever complimented someone's necklace and be like, oh, I really like the thread that's holding that necklace together? But without the thread, the necklace is useless. Has a thread ever broke on your necklace and your beads spill all over the floor? Yeah. You're like, oh my God, the whole thing's ruined. That's what Krishna is saying he is. He is the thread that's holding together all of reality. All of reality is being held together by God. But we're so busy looking at the beads of reality, thinking, oh, look how nice this necklace is. But what's actually holding together reality? It's Krishna, actually. So the Vedas are declaring this is the topmost truth, and we should pursue this. So this is very important. Ben is actually going to give a class very soon on this next part of the verse. What time is it? Oh, it's already almost time, so I have to end soon. We're gonna, by the time we leave for our trip for some weeks, we're going to finish this verse. And we'll go through different Bhagavad Gita verses that will help us to understand these root truths. And if you understand these, then you can actually have roots in your bhakti and you'll be very strong. And then you'll have a foundation in which you can build, and then where bhakti can be solid. And it won't get blown away, or you won't get confused, or you won't get subject to the defects. As long as you properly are in the chain of understanding them, coming to hear from those who have realized these things, and ideally connecting to our those who very much understand these things, and we should definitely try to connect with them. So the next part, there's two phrases, Sarva Shaktim and Risabdhim. I'm not going to go so heavily into this. But the Lord, because He is the ultimate truth, He is the necklace He's the thread holding all of existence together. He has different energies composing of His existence. There's three main energies. Ben, you tell us right now the three main energies.
The internal potency, are you talking about those?
Yes,
The
yes,
Shaktis?
yes.
So there's the internal potency,
Which is?
the Lord's spiritual energy.
Yes.
His associates, His pastimes, the spiritual world.
Yes.
There's the external energy, which is the material world, the world of elements, the world that is temporary and changing, and the world that we're in
Yes.
and aware of. And then there's the Tatastha Shakti, or the marginal potency, which is where we are. It's conscious. It comes from the internal potency of the Lord, but it's positioned in between the external and the internal. And that's where we are. We're in the middle of those two, and we have the free will to choose either spiritual or materiality. And since we've been choosing materiality for so long, we're conditioned to that being our default.
Yes. So
mode
our
of operating.
So do you know the verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita that describes the Jiva Swarupa, that Jiva Tattva?
It's 107 and 108. I don't know the Sanskrit though.
Okay. Jivera Swarupa Hoy. Madhu?
Beta Prakash.
Yes, yes. So he described, thank you, Ben. He described that really nicely, actually. That there are three Shaktis of the Lord. There's the Lord's spiritual energy. This is the Lord, His personal associates in the spiritual world, His pastimes places, His guna, rupa, nam, lila, His holy names. Everything to do with the Lord is part of the Swarup Shakti. Then there's the Maya Shakti. That's all of the things of this world and all of the jud, or the dead material elements. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Bhumir apo nalo vayu, kang manu buddhir evacha. And he says, Ahankara itiyame bina prakritir ashtadha. He's saying earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All of these are my separated material energies, are my eightfold separated material energies. So all of these material energies of this world are part of what's called the external energy, or the Maya Shakti. These are the shiny, glittering things we see of this world. Money. We chant every morning, Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundarim, Kavitam Va. Yeah, Jagadisha Kame. So, but all of those saying, we're saying no money, no followers or progeny, no beautiful partners, Sundarim, and Kavitam. No distinguishment for our learning, no distinguishment for our poetic ability or our knowledgeable ability. I don't want any of that. Why? Because all of those things are part of the material energy, the Maya energy, things of wealth and beauty, all of the things of this world that we're chasing. It's all part of these five elements, gross elements, and then the subtle elements of mind, intelligence, and false ego. Anyway, it gets a little complicated. But then there's us in the middle of that. Tatastha means shore. We're on the shore. And we could look out, either, who has ever stood in between the shore of the land and the sea? Anyone? No, you haven't. How? You can't stand on the margin. You have to go one way or the other. It's either you're in the water or you're out of the water, right? But as the soul, we're actually created on the margin, but because we're so infinitesimal, no matter what energy we associate with, whether it's the land or the sea, we're in it or we're out. So if we associate with the Swarup Shakti, the Lord's personal energy via His holy name, His Shad Krishna Nama Charitari, his character, His pastimes, His associates, His devotees, if we associate His scriptures, His instructions, if we associate with these things, then we can be in the Swarup Shakti of the Lord, which is what the process of being a devotee is. how to associate with the Lord's Swarup Shakti, with the Lord's pure energy, which leads one to Him. Or we can do the demoniac nature and not care for what the Lord's injunctions, and we can turn around and go towards the other side. And that's what we do. That's what we've been doing. We've been trying to do whatever we want in this world and just trying to find happiness any which way. And that verse we shared at the beginning, this is why we are gliding down gates to hell and we're going to be suffering, because we are being overcome by lust, greed, and anger. So we have to, if we're intelligent, we will try to associate with the Lord's Swarup Shakti. We'll trust the Lord's scriptures, we'll trust the Lord, and we'll trust the Lord's saints and sages who are giving us the revelations of the scriptures, and we'll follow them. So that's what Mantra Central is. This is a place to connect people to a lineage of saints. And connect people so that you yourself can have a life where you can have happiness, perfection, and achieve the supreme destination. Why? Because those who try to act independently and do whatever they want in this world, they don't get perfection, they don't get happiness, and they don't get the supreme destination. And any compassionate person will be sad to see that. Oh, like if I were to tell you all, oh, your mom's going to hell, but no one would be happy. No one would be happy to hear that, right? No one wants to hear, oh, someone I care about and love is going to hell. But unfortunately, due to the demoniac influence being so strong, just about everybody is on either in already or gliding down further into the gateways to hell, as described by Krishna. And unless we do something about it, that's our destination too in this material world. So there should be an urgency. There should be an urgency. And how do you know that you're in hell? You're suffering. That's the symptom. You're suffering in life. So if you're suffering, which unfortunately I know you all are. I know we all are. Why? Because we're in this world, and this world is described as what? Dukhalayam ashashvatam by Krishna. It's a temporary place of miseries. The reason we're here is because we've had this demonic mentality for some time, and this is the place where God has to put us to try and resolve these things. It's like an exam place. And as of yet, none of us have passed the exam, which is why we're still here. But now Krishna is giving us a good opportunity. He's giving us some good cliff notes. He's giving us some proper tutoring from a good teacher, from teachers and things like this, where we can pass the exam and achieve the highest destination. So anyway, I'm going to end here. What I'll do, instead of open up for questions, because I want to do the arti and we should do all these things. You guys, I'll sit out here after I chant Gayatri, and then if anyone wants to ask questions, you're more than welcome to ask questions. So I'll end here. Is there anything burning? If something is burning, we can answer it quickly, if it's possible. Everyone is good?
I'm seeing like burning wanting a question.
No.
Here's my question.
Tell me.
You said there's a sense of urgency for this.
Yes.
How much urgency? Is it okay if we start tomorrow? Next week?
That's a good question. So Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavatam, I learned this verse on the day my wife was in labor with Abhiram. She was very angry with me for prioritizing learning this verse while she was in labor. But here's the fruit of my sacrifice. So it goes, Labdva sudorlabam idam bahusambhavante manushyam arthadam anitya api hadiraha tornam yateta napated anumrityu yavan nishreya saya vishaya kalusarvatasya. Now what's this verse mean? We've obtained something extremely rare. And what's that? This human form of life. But this human form of life is anitya. It's temporary. And so the wise person, and you said how urgent, he will tornam yateta. They will immediately endeavor. They will immediately endeavor. Napated, as long as they've not fallen down dead, anumrityu yavan. As long as you have not fallen down dead, the wise person will immediately endeavor. Why? Well, for what? Nishreya saya, the ultimate perfection, which Krishna is describing here, that the Vedas are giving anyone who can understand the Vedas, you'll get perfection. Your life will be perfect. We all want this. And perfection gives perfect happiness too. That's just a side effect. And what's this? It's very pleasing to the Lord, and it's very pleasing to everybody. So basically, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he used to give classes in, I think it was Jhansi. Was it Jhansi? And two of his disciples, they came to the class and they were really kind of disturbed by his class, because he just gave this class on this verse, and the Krishna is saying that one should immediately endeavor. Once you know that supreme perfection, you should immediately make an endeavor. But they're thinking, well, I have a family, I have a job, I have kids, I have all these things. How could I immediately endeavor for the supreme perfection? What do I have to leave everything behind? And so they went up to Bhaktisiddhanta afterwards, and they said, this is my doubt, Swamiji. And Bhaktisiddhanta said, Tornam means you should yateta means you should immediately endeavor, but it doesn't mean you should immediately renounce all these things. It means that, yes, maybe you understand that to be 100% devoted to God might mean you have to put down a lot of your responsibilities with work, maybe even with family, maybe even with all these things. But actually, to immediately endeavor means to take steps. You cannot just transport from the beginning of a long journey to the end of the long journey. You have to take every step of the way. So to immediately endeavor means immediately start the journey. And do you know who those two people who came and asked him that question were? One was a very great famous saint named Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, who is very profoundly influential to our Srila Prabhupada, and our whole, many of his disciples afterwards also took shelter of him after Prabhupada left. And the other one was A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada himself. And Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he actually more quickly got rid of his responsibilities and became a sannyasi. But A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he took a longer time to close out his family dealings and things. But actually what he did was one of the most profound and influential things in the spreading of Vedic knowledge in history. So, Tornam means immediately endeavor, but doesn't mean immediately get the result. So it's very urgent though. As long as your body hasn't fallen down dead, you should immediately make some endeavor. If you neglect the order, your destination is the 3 gates to hell. Not my words, this is Krishna's words. So just so you know. So immediately, how do you make the endeavor? The simplest way, just come here with the devotees, hear these things, and regularly study these things, take instructions, and try to connect with our teachers. And then you yourself, you'll have guidance and personal guidance on how you can go forward in your life and how you personally can reach perfection. So it's simple actually. All you have to do is just, it's like an electrical outlet. And we're like a perfect little appliance. Maybe Stella is a blender, and Claire is a mixer in the kitchen, and things like this. And everyone has their own unique function. But unless you're connected and you're plugged in, it's not going to work. It's practically useless. So what you do is get plugged in. How do you get plugged in? You associate with the devotees, and then you connect to a guru. And the devotees will help you connect to the guru. So practically all you guys have to do now is just come and associate with the devotees. Come here, serve with the devotees, hear more about these things, get inspired. And then when our gurus come here, whatever guru is most inspiring to you, you try to connect with these exalted personalities, and then they will help you reach perfection in your life. And this is the simple process. So don't worry, it's not so burdensome. It's not like I'm sending you off from this class today and be like, oh, what am I going to do? I'm gliding down towards hell, and he said it was urgent, and I'm screwed. Like, no, just come here, come with the devotees. We have programs literally every day. You can come here every day if you want, but maybe you can make it once or twice a week or 3 times. Maybe awesome. So come here and then connect with us and connect with our teachers, and everything will be good. And that's all you have to do, and no problem. And so thank you guys so much. Thank you for the question, Mukunda. We're going to do an arti. We're going to be at least 10 minutes late. I hope you don't mind.
Swamiji, if we take a break from this, it will be like inertia of rest. I've been there, like especially without the support. It is like when you go into inertia of, not becoming, staying away from him is also a kind of inertia.
Yes,
It
yes.
take a lot of effort to come back.
Yes, yes. Don't. Once you know about this, if you do anything else except making an immediate endeavor, this is very foolish. So please don't say, "Oh, I'll do it later when I'm older" or something. Do it now. So that's a very good point, though, Tejashree. So thank you. So thank you who joined online, and